Hey YouTubers, welcome. I am Shannon Olson from Nana's Workshop, and this is Garden Talk, episode number 2. I put a video out there the other day. I hope you guys follow me on my journey. I'm going to do like a year through my garden. Locally, my garden is pretty famous, so you might want to jump on and subscribe. I'm going to go through the trials and tribulations of what I've gone through. I'm not a professional, just from my experiences and things that I've learned along the way. So right now it is late February I live in northeast Nebraska in the Midwest. And normally I would have started my seed about a month ago for the garden. I have not. Because I forgot. But I did do some propagation and I have overwintered some flowers. So I'm going to just show you some things that I've saved. And I am actually today I was going through and trimming some things and cleaning the leaves, the dead leaves. They fall and they go through a transition. As you can see, this potato vine, it's the purple one. I trimmed a bunch of dead vines off because the long vine was dead, but the very tip was alive. So I put them in a glass of water and they are rooting. So I'm going to transplant those pretty soon. Some other things that I've saved. You have to check this coleus out. I don't even know. It's probably over 2.5 foot tall. It's ginormous. I have 3 of those. I don't know if it's fishnet. The darker colored one's called fishnet, but this one, I don't remember. But it's really big, and I love those in the shady area under my pergola. And if you want to go back to the first video, and you can kind of see where the shade garden is. Some of the pots that I had last year, I saved because I hate throwing things away. I just hate it. So a lot of the things still have the potato vine in there, and the wire vine, the asparagus fern, and the spike. I will repurpose that. Probably the potato vine I will trim out and let grow again. The wire vine looks great. The spike looks good. Asparagus fern looks great. So I might just add something else in there just as a filler. So I seriously have saved money on that. I overwintered my Dusty Miller, which got really big. I always love that color in the garden. A lot of these things. There's another one with the asparagus fern. One of my pots. This Gerber daisy I have actually had for years, many, many years. And I got it in I call it a pea pot. Back in the old days, this was the pea pot. And it loves it. I have had this, I'll bet you 5 years in this pot. And I bring it in the wintertime. And it will go dormant. I will trim all the foliage back, pull all the dead stuff out. But I'll just a little bit of trickle of water, just keep it moist. And it starts growing back. And this porch, I keep going with a heater. So, a lot of my things, they stay warm enough out here so they don't freeze. So I do save a few things. My passion flower vines, I'm not going to pull both of them because the other one's really, really long. But the other one stayed green. What I did was dig it out of the ground, put it in some fertilized soil, and put it in a pot and brought it in. And this one actually went completely dead, but there's new shoots coming up now. And this is all new. It completely died back, but I started watering again. And the other one, it still had a green shoot, but a lot of the leaves all fell off, and it's bigger than this even. It's too viney right now. I don't want to pull it out of the corner. These are very hard to come by in my area, so I save them year after year as much as possible. I don't have the knack of saving mandevillas. They're beautiful. I wish I could, but the aphids love them in this area. One thing that I've always liked, and I wish I could plant it in the ground, but I'm afraid it's going to be too invasive, is bamboo. And this little guy I have trimmed back, and I have saved and divided him. You can see the leaf. Hello. No, it's not the other thing you're thinking of. No. It's bamboo. And they say it's hardy. It's hardy to zone 5. Now, where I'm at in the northeast Nebraska, it's always iffy because our winters, I mean, we can drop to 30 below, and the next week we're at 10 above. So it's very hard. And sometimes our winters are no snow, and sometimes we have a cover of 3 foot almost throughout the season, which is good for the plants and perennials. But it's not always I've lost many mums. So when I go plant shopping, perennial shopping, I will search for plants that are pretty much zone 4. That's going to get me a hardy plant and root system. I have done zone 5s, and I have lost them. It depends on the year. And so, I try and, I don't know. I would love to have that, it would be beautiful screen, a privacy screen. But I don't know if it would go crazy and go, into the next door neighbors, or if it would just die off, and I don't want to lose it. What else we have here? A lot of my succulents. Of course, we always have hen and chicks out in the garden, and they always come back. This one variety that I got last year, and I'm really excited. It's bright yellow. It's bright yellow, but I don't know if it's hardy for my zone. It's cute, and it is a hen and chick, but there was no tag in it, and I need to go back to the supplier and find out if it is hardy for our zone, because some of them are and some of them aren't. Here is a zebra aloe. Look at all those little babies. I can pull them out and divide up each and every one of these and make a new plant. Isn't he cute? I just stuck him in a soup cup bowl, whatever. I have a lot. I think this is either donkey's tail or burro's tail. I think this is burro's tail. This is burro's tail. It's a little bit larger. I love that. Let's see, I have this one, and I think this is donkey's tail. I believe this is donkey's tail. And I have several pots of this. Pardon the whistle, it is dinner time here, supper time here. I love it. I have it in a couple pots, very, very tall pots, so it drapes over to the sides. And it goes very well with the heat here. It's not like the Carolinas, but when Nebraska gets it 2 months of that hot weather, it's tough on those plants. And if it's hanging plants, I mean, that I really don't worry about watering. But if it was flowers, I'd have to water like twice a day. Like that, I would have to water it twice a day. Once in the morning before I go to work, and then when I get home, because it would be shriveled up. Some of these succulents are really, really cute, and I didn't even know what this is, but it's some kind of a drain, I don't know. Did it drain macaroni? I'm not sure, but I have a bigger one with more succulents in it, but I have a zebra in there, and I cannot remember the name of that, and this little guy there, but I will put these things in anything. They grow anywhere. Sometimes they will break off, and of course I don't like to throw them away. I feel bad. They're laying there dying, and I don't want that to happen. This guy is stuck in this thing last fall, and it was just the tip of the plant, and look what he's done. He's being silly. So I really like him though. I think out in the sun, or when it's dry shade for him, it's almost a blue-gray. It's really pretty. And I'm sure you would know the name of it, and I would probably should be more prepared next time. I like to, in the wintertime, I like to do bonsai trees, and I've done several, even with the little miniature pines, or name escapes me again, but these are fig trees. So easy to bonsai, so easy to shape and bend and trim, and it's so peaceful doing this. It's really cool. I put it in another soup thing. Put a little mushroom in there. I put fake moss and some bark in there, some wood. I do have one more. This one's much bigger. I can't remember if this was no, actually this is my second one I've done. And this is all roots. Look at that. They search if it's dry. They like crawl out of there and look for the water. But this guy's crazy. So I'm gonna shape him again. I need to tie him back around, twist him up, and I just use ties. Kind of crazy. But they are fun and relaxing to work with. You can bonsai almost anything. I have done cherry trees. I've done a wisteria vine, several different things. Here's another succulent that would otherwise die outside, but it's kind of neat, kind of spiky. So I bring him in and just put them in. I like to add them to other pots for interest and texture and things like that. Now, I told you I propagate this over here. Well, I showed you the potato vine, and I have the light green color too. Sorry, I'm not looking at you. Sorry, apologize for that. But here I do coleus. Look at all those roots. I have to plant those. I have one more jar, but let me show you a couple. And I need to pinch the tops off like this, so the energy, when I did that, the energy goes back into the plant and makes it a stronger plant, and it leaves out more. But I love coleus. They're one of my favorite plants in the garden because there's so many colors, there's so many varieties. They're just fun. Sometimes I'd rather almost have all coleus in the garden, if I could, than flowers, because flowers die and drop off and all that stuff. You don't really have to do a whole lot with coleus. They just do their own thing. That's it. I mean, I'm going to be starting to, there's really nothing out in the garden I can do right now. I was going to start bringing down my decorations from the storage unit and get those ready and cleaned off, and get them ready to place out in the garden. I can't clean anything out there right now. I did chop down some things, but I did leave other things up for interest, like some of the good bugs need a plate, like a hollow stem, to live in throughout the winter. And the good bugs, they help fight the bad bugs. Gardening has to be one of my favorite things to do. I'm sad that it's seasonal here in Nebraska. Someday maybe I'll live somewhere I can garden all year round. But on the other hand, I do like to paint furniture and canvas art, and I do a little bit of crafting as well. You can also find me on Nana's Workshop page on Facebook and Nana's Workshop 1 on Instagram. So if you guys just want to follow me throughout this journey, it's going to be really nice this weekend, and I'm just going to be kind of cleaning things. I'm not cleaning foliage or anything like that because the ground is still frozen back there. All that dead stuff is still frozen in the ground. But I might be moving anything that's been sitting around all winter long. I'm going to move it around and things like that. But here's one other thing. Amaryllis, you guys. It's great for the deck. I mean, they bloom whenever you bring them out to bloom again, October, November, December, January. They can go actually, you cut off the stalk, the flower stalk, and keep watering them. Put them out on your deck for, another pot of foliage. I mean, they're good foliage looking plants. And then you bring them inside and let them go dormant in a dark corner of your basement. Then bring them out when you want. In about a couple weeks, they're going to start growing and shooting that stem up. And the flowers are just amazing. You can have so many different colors. Awesome, beautiful, beautiful. I have my bells, my chimes. I can't wait to get everything back outside. You guys, I hope you follow me along. Follow along with me here. It's going to be fun. We may have some crazy adventures out in the garden because things happen in the garden. Just saying. So, I hope you guys, if you guys like this and are interested, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow the journey along with me. It'll be a year in Nana's Workshop's garden. And I'm going to talk about all kinds of things that happen and are growing currently in the garden, and some tricks and tips that I've learned along the way, some easy sprays to use that are not chemical, some companion plants, ways to pot your plants, all kinds of things, guys. So if you want to follow along, push that subscribe button. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.